Welcome back to another episode. Before we get into the main reason you clicked on this episode, we're gonna have a pre-bonus to this episode. So one of the pieces of equipment that I think is worth their weight in gold, this is just anecdotal, this is just my personal preference, for the wrist protection, the wrist guards, Rogue makes a very beautiful wrist wrap. Now, I'm not sponsored, but I really do enjoy their product. Before, I was using a very thick Velcro wrist guard, which didn't provide us the support that I needed. It wasn't as customizable. It felt like it was losing its tension. So this is great because you can get it as tight as you want every single time you want to apply it. Now, I don't know if this is true for everybody, but one of the issues I've been running into is if, for example, the winter, where it is harder to sweat and get warmed up, as I try to wrap this around my wrist, it is quite loose, right? It's not getting it stuck, and I'm trying to use my hand to brace and get that tension that I need, and I simply cannot. One of the things that I discovered is if you take a little bit of water, and if you don't have any water and you're in a pinch, you will take it and you will dab the area, you will get some water around your wrist, and that will create the friction, or I guess the grip this thing will need. Now, you're still going to want to brace that knee, pull it tight, and then you can wrap that wrist however you need protection-wise. Now, it's not perfect, but you do have to kind of work with it, but you will sustain a much better grip, right? I'm pulling pretty good, and I think we're good. And then, of course, then too, you would wrap the strap and then tuck it, and you're ready to go. So that's just one little tip for anybody out there that may be struggling with wrist wraps and they lose their tension or they lose their grip on the wrist. So a little bit of water or a little saliva goes a long way. So the main reason you clicked on this video though, and I'll take you with me as I cool down, is to talk about strength gains. And again, this is all very anecdotal. This is all just unique to my experience, but I'm just going to share this from what I have learned about strength training in the past, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years. Specifically, I've seen some great improvements. Pure numbers, technique, consistency, and most importantly, less injuries, less nicks and dings throughout my competitive seasons of either weightlifting or doing CrossFit. So, getting right into it, I'm sure you've heard this. It was reiterated to me in a CrossFit Mayhem video that I saw. Specifically, it was a Bergener strength program. So they do, and this is what they focus on. Top to bottom, starting with mobility. Second is speed. And I believe the third item is just pure strength output or volume of your training. And I think that's very true. And that was what I was getting to. And again, it's nothing new, but I was like, that is exactly what I focused on. Maybe inadvertently watching Mayhem and seeing what they do and studying them for 3-4 years, I just subconsciously took that and put it into my programming, as I'm pretty independent in how I do things. And again, anecdotal, but it's working. But taking certain elements from things that I like and plugging it into my program, the first thing I started with was mobility. For whatever reason, growing up, however I played sports, maybe I fell a certain way, but I've had a shoulder issue. If you watch any of my videos where I'm hanging from a bar, or I'm using objects overhead like a barbell, you will see an unevenness of my shoulders, specifically my left pec is either a little higher and my lat is for some reason pulled in a little differently. So my mobility was an issue that was limiting my strength. I was uneven, things were getting worked disproportionately, and over the past 2 years, it's been my mission to correct that. And we are finally at the point where the shoulder is starting to feel better. Things are loosening up and unlocking, and I think it's unlocking my strength gains overhead for my pressing power, my stability on the jerk, the stability on the snatch, and we are really starting to correct things. The second thing is speed. Whenever I focus on skill work or technical work for my lifts, and it's a lighter percentage, lower reps, lower volume, lower load, we are working on speed underneath the barbell, speed on the jerk, speed underneath for the clean, speed underneath for the snatch. After watching years and years of footage, something finally clicked where I was like, I look really unathletic. I look really, really slow. And so all of my technical sessions, which I do 1 or 2 a week per lift for the snatch, clean and jerk, back squat or front squat. It depends on what cycle I am and what is currently needed or what I have chosen to work on. But I will do one technical session, whether it is a tempo, and there's some element of change of speed. That all varies. But that is the main focus, is getting that speed underneath the barbell. Because what I was seeing in a lot of my videos is I had the strength to stand up whatever I could catch, but I couldn't get in the position correctly to catch said weight. So that was my mission, is to become more speedy underneath the bar, more stable in the catch position, and really work through the technical aspect of that part of the lift. And when I did that, weights, not necessarily my PRs went up right away, but the quality of repetitions I was getting over time was increasing drastically. So for example, my clean and jerk, a 255 was like, that was a good day. To now, we are approaching close to 300 pounds week in and week out as a consistent clean and jerk. It doesn't hurt my shoulders overhead. I don't feel like the bar is crashing. My hips don't hurt. Those mobility things have been corrected. The speed under the barbell allows me to catch it in a safe position. And then lastly, the pure volume of strength training that I've been doing has allowed me to excel and now put up bigger numbers, start hitting PRs. That isn't the focus necessarily, is to PR every single time I lift, but to eventually get stronger is the goal. Again, better positioning, better mobility, I'm moving better, and I'm moving heavier weight better than ever. So as a positive consequence, I am not getting as injured. There's no tweaks with my elbow or tweaks with my shoulder because it's out of position and one side's working harder than the other. There's no imbalance in my hips that's negating the amount of volume that I can hit or the higher percentages that I need to push in order to grow and to develop. So those are just like my big takeaways of strength that have really helped me cultivate a more efficient way of training and allowed me to really progress. And I hope you guys have enjoyed, at least for the last 2 years of training, and where it has progressed and where it has gone. And I hope to share more and more of that information with you guys as I figure some more things out. Again, very anecdotal. I'm not a doctor. Take this as entertainment. This is not medical information. So please don't sue me. But I would suggest, yes, work on mobility, work on speed, and then your pure strength should come after the fact. Because without the other two, the strength really doesn't matter if you can't, one, get into the position, and two, get underneath the barbell. Specifically for weightlifting. It's different for powerlifting, but especially in weightlifting, the snatch and clean and jerk, you definitely need the first two before the third. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed the bonus content beforehand. And I don't know if I said this already, but like citation, disclaimer, credit goes to CrossFit Mayhem and Bergener Strength. I believe that's where I originally got this, and I'm just reiterating in this that it is very effective, it works, and they know what they're talking about. So again, as always, thank you guys for watching this episode. I appreciate y'all, and as always, peace and much love.